If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning, and welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I'm your host, Mr. Derrick Forston, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Miss Shay, and we are Forston Consultants together. So thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all got a lot of choices of where you could be, but y'all chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. And remember, this is a live recording of independent living facility talk. So Shay, tell the people who you are, what you do, and also mention how beautiful that shirt is and where did you get that from?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Shanya Shay Forston. Everybody knows me as Shay. I am the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit organization in Orlando, Florida, where we take women from homeless to hopeful, utilizing the independent living facility model that we've coined here at Forston Consultants. Don't be fooled by the rest. Come and consider the best. The ones that have trademarked, have been doing this thing for years. For a lot of, 9 years, going on 10 years of training and teaching people how to open. And we run our own independent living facility. So it's not like we just teach it or talk about it. We also do it. And we've got a plethora of individuals like yourselves that are operating independent living facilities all over the nation, underneath the Forston Consultant teaching and education. So again, let's dive into some great conversation and let's see where this thing goes. You never know what conversations come out of Derrick and I. So Absolutely. Let's get it done, D. Yeah, so we are doing the Know Before You Go nonprofit. It is a course that educates individuals that are interested in that 501c3, wanting to become a nonprofit organization, have questions, or you have already delved into it some way as a nonprofit founder, or finding some hiccups and bumps and bruises on the way. This course is to educate you on the things you need to know, right? I entered into the space with very limited knowledge. Thank God for good people and being surrounded by people that love to educate and teach. So I was able to learn a lot and still learn a lot about the nonprofit space. And I'm just wanting to share that information with you all so that you have the appropriate tools, that you are fully equipped to enter into the space of filing your documents, really having that knowledge, that understanding of a nonprofit or a 501c3 to make a conscious decision on if this is what you want to do, or if it's not time yet, or I can start it and, propel myself in that direction in the upcoming years. But that's what the Know Before You Go nonprofit course is all about. There's some bonus material in there. I'm not going to spill it. I've been spilling it. So if you didn't catch what I spilled the last time, you're going to have to catch it when you get the course. To all of our ILF Mastery Blueprint members, our courses, whenever we do something new, we normally add you to them for free without any request of funds. But for this particular course, the Know Before You Go nonprofit, we are asking for a donation because this course is a course affiliated to and for the Angela Denise Foundation. So we'll be sending out an email marketing campaign, text message campaign to all of our IMB family that would like to gain access to that course. Okay. We're not asking much, just donate a donation and then you get access to the full course. And we've got some extra stuff coming too behind that course that I haven't even told Derrick about, and I'm not going to tell him about it.
And trust me, you won't know it unless you get it. So guys, she's only asking, and I'm not sure if she's even said how much, but she's only asking for a small donation from the IMB members. And of course, outside people, she's going to have a regular price for that as well. Right. But if you are an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, she's going to make it such of a no-brainer that you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you don't get it. Correct. So listen to your big brother right now. I hardly ever give like just direct instruction, right? Unless you're under my coaching, right? But here's some right now. For the people that are under my coaching, this is also really for you too. I suggest you get this. So whatever her asking price is, get it. How many of you all have heard this long enough that you know right now that you want to be like Shay a little bit and you want a nonprofit program to do this? I'll admit that was not my desire. I was lucky I married a lady that wanted that. Yeah. My desire was not to run a nonprofit because of what I heard about it, what it costs, the board I got to build, the minutes I got to take, the meetings I got to have. Right. I can't spend the money I want to. I got to get permission. I don't want no nonprofit. I'm smart enough today to know that it makes so much sense to have them both.
Yeah. I say no, in other words.
If you're under our coaching, I'm telling you to get this. You need it. Whether you are a nonprofit now or you want to go later. And again, when Shay take it off of this special, the price going to be so crazily up there, you're going to be mad that you didn't get it. So please do not get this. Go ahead, Shay.
I may do something special. Like I may do some, well, it's not like you're not privy to it. IMB family, ILF Mastery Blueprint family, you all get access to me anyway. So, this is a part of my offerings to you all. When that time comes and you are ready to venture into that nonprofit space, we are here to help you with some of that information, or if not, connect you to the right people to help you establish what needs to be established. I talk with my accountant on a number of occasions of how many people that venture into the nonprofit space and they spend a whole heap of money for somebody to set them up, and they're not set up appropriately. Or when they go to, they're filing taxes wrong. Like there was a nonprofit organization that I directed to my accountant, and whoever was filing their taxes was doing a horrible job. And in all actuality, she could have lost her 501c3 status. This individual could have completely ruined her 501c3 status. Her 990s weren't done for every year for a total, I think it was like 3 or 4 years. And it really could have crippled her organization because of things that were not done appropriately. And there's a lot of people that consider themselves gurus in this space. And I tell people, be careful, be cautious. There's a lot of fraud that happens to nonprofit organizations. And your girl is a part of, apparently I'm a defendant in a federal case. My organization on top of a plethora of other organizations, because we were taken advantage by someone that esteemed themselves as a grant writer, that was charging significant amount of funds, was not applying for any grants. And in all actuality, this young lady was robbing nonprofit organizations. So much so some people did get funding, but what they were doing, I guess, was leveraging the funds that people were paying for the services to write quote unquote grants for these other nonprofits. So long story short, I want to show you all how to avoid those mistakes. Right? I am a named defendant. Your girl is a named defendant in this. I got the email and all from the state of Florida's federal department for me to log in and follow the case and follow what's happening and all of this stuff. So it is super important that as an entrepreneur, whether it's for profit or nonprofit, that you are surrounding yourselves with people that are continually getting educated and being educated, and you also being the one to be educated on what you're doing. Because if not, you can fall subject to a lot of mishandling by other people that see a way to get money quick and leave you in the balance. So be mindful of that. Can you imagine? And the good thing is, discernment, guys. Discernment. I cannot say it enough. I did have a meeting with this company. They offered me services, and the price, it made no sense. I knew enough because I had went through a 6-month grant, it was a 4-month grant writing class with my accountant, by an highly esteemed grant writer. Big shout out to Ms. Witcher. She is amazing. She writes huge federal and local grants, millions and millions of dollars under her belt. And we did this course with her, and I went and sat with these individuals right after I had did that course. And one of the things that she always said to us in this class, and she just taught myself and my accountant solo. We met with her, and it was just us two. And she says, you have to be reminded, if anybody tells you they can guarantee you grant funding, run. She said, because no grant is guaranteed.
Right, you can't guarantee.
She said, run. And that was one of my biggest takeaways from that. And when I met with this young lady or this company, the first thing she said, oh, we guarantee grants. And I just looked at her and I said,
how can you guarantee that?
That was my question. And she says, well, we've got funders and we've got people this is all they're looking for is to offload money. You sound fishy. And I'm so grateful that I did not move forward with their services, but ultimately, it still ended up landing me in the same place as a defendant for her trial. But again, just be mindful. And that's the whole reason behind this course. And I want people to not fall captive to the plagues and the plots and the schemes that are happening in today's society, where things are so easy to come by and people are trying to make $1 out of 15 cents however they can. So that's it. I'm off my soapbox, Derrick.
And thank y'all again so much for being a part of the live podcast. Don't Wait to Be Great. You guys have a lot of choices of where you could be, but you chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. Shay, there's a question in the chat that I want you to handle. Okay. We get this all the time, actually. People think because it's a nonprofit, you can't make money. So do you want to talk about that? And I'll put it on the screen for you as well.
Absolutely. So can we talk about nonprofit and what type of profit you can make? You can make as much profit as you want. It's just a matter of how you delegate the funds when you receive them, right? Nonprofits are not known for we're not in the business to make a profit, but it does happen. There are years that my nonprofit agency is profitable, but what I end up doing is I end up putting that money back into another program or running or operating something else outside of, let's say we do toiletry totes, we do compassion kits that are going into the schools. Toiletry totes go to other organizations that need toiletries. So like prime example, I'll be reaching out to my church on Sunday. I've got toiletry totes out the wazoo under my steps, and I need to get them handed out. We've already distributed to a lot of our local organizations that we partner with for toiletry totes. I have more. So now I'm going to go to my church and say, hey, do you guys come into connection with people that need toiletries? Here you go. Here's some toiletry totes that you can hand out. Those are new programs that I add. So prime example, like now all of the funds that are coming in for the shirts, the merchandise, all of that stuff will go towards another said purpose or project. It's not for me to pad my pockets with unless I submit to the board, hey, I would like an increase in pay because I'm doing X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to further the mission of the nonprofit, right? You can take a paycheck from the nonprofit organization, but ultimately the goal with the profits that the nonprofit organization receives should be redistributed back out in good works. Okay, so that's the way a nonprofit works. A lot of people are like, oh, nonprofits shouldn't make money. Yes, because it allows you, if a nonprofit is profitable, it allows you to now do other things. It now allows you to expand your scope, right? There's organizations right now, they're 501c3 organizations, and they're ready for this summer. It's summertime. They're making tens of thousands of dollars on top of it, hosting summer camps, right? Or hosting different types of camps for the summer, and that's government funds that's coming into them. Now, if they are operating as true nonprofits and they just didn't sign up for this to just get that money, because lo and behold, in the future, they're going to be looked at, right? These are federal dollars coming to their organizations. So they better have a proper discharge plan for those funds, or allocate them a particular way, or make sure that all of their ducks are in a row with payments and how everything needs to go out and blah, 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 blah. Because ultimately what's going to happen is if they get audited, not if, when they get audited, because it's federal, any type of federal or state funding, you can guarantee within a time frame, you will end up with an audit at your door, right? Just making sure that you are reinstituting a percentage. If not, because by law, if it's a grant that you're receiving, you can only allocate 10% of that grant to administration. So that means administrative pay.
So y'all got Shay teaching on nonprofit now. Right? See how y'all get that going?
So you just got to be mindful of what you're doing and making sure that you are paying attention to the details of the monies that you are getting. If you are doing drives and fundraisers and getting donations and doing all of this stuff, you've got to make sure that people are receiving what they need on the back end, like the end of the year statements. How much did they donate? That stuff is regulated, okay, by the IRS, that we provide that, because when they go to do their taxes, and let's say somebody donated to your organization $50,000, make sure that they know what those funds went to. So on my end of the year statements, I let them know, thank you for your donation. It went towards our toiletry tote campaign, blah, 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 blah. Now, if there's a surplus in that, we use it for our ILFs, right? Which is one of the base programs under the nonprofit organization. So our independent living facility, we put that money back into that. Like right now I have a honey-do list, a laundry list for the ILF. I need screens repaired on the outside patio. We're looking for brand new. We want to replace all of the windows in this house. We did an amazing job on the rehab, but windows wasn't a part of that because they were sustainable. But now, we're seeing that there's some things that need to be done. So when I'm doing these campaigns, those are the things that's on my list of things to do for those extra funds or excess funds or profits that come into the independent under my 501c3. So I'm not pocketing that money. I'm reallocating it back into the organization or back into a program. So the misconception is that nonprofits cannot make a profit. Yes, we can. We're just not we're not in business to make a profit. We are in a structure that reallocates and redistributes our profits to do the greater good.
Now, I don't know if she's kind of merged a strategy call with it and all that the way I do. But again, I'm telling you guys, man, especially if you're under my coaching, I'm telling you to get it. If you're not under my coaching, I got to be a little nicer to y'all to say, I suggest that if you're thinking about going nonprofit, and watch this, I don't care what is in.
Yeah.
They's giving you information if you want a nonprofit ILF or if you want a nonprofit bakery. Doesn't make a difference. The same applies, right, Shay, if they want to be a nonprofit, right?
If it's a 50, okay,
so what you got to work?
So wait a minute. There are guidelines to what is considered or deemed a charitable organization. Okay. So it can be a nonprofit bakery.
Well, okay.
But let's say this. A nonprofit can start a bakery. Listen to what I'm saying. A nonprofit organization can start a for-profit arm. Okay. So they can start a for-profit arm that can allocate funds and operate like an LLC or anything like that. But an LLC cannot branch into the nonprofit space. Okay. It can go nonprofit, can start a LLC or a for-profit entity and be good to go, but not vice versa.
Okay.
Right. So let's say you have a nonprofit and now you're like, you know what? We're selling a lot of baked goods and we're really cashing in on donations. Let's start a bakery and let people know that 40% of the things that we make at the bakery goes back into the nonprofit. Okay, let's do it.
Just like that t-shirt thing I be teaching all you one-on-one people. Now, regular YouTube folks won't know what I'm talking about, but all of you all that have your own t-shirt brand, that's that example that Shay just gave using a different product.
Yeah.
Right. So just remember the t-shirt that I told you guys that when you met me day one, I said, congratulations on your new apparel store. And you was like, huh? Me? And you didn't know that?
Let me see.
Exactly.
Let me tell you this. So Primex, I'm gonna give you a real life example. So the merch line for the Angela Denise Foundation. If I see it growing to a certain extent, which I'm praying that it does, as I need to do better with social media.
She's terrible,
I'm
y'all.
Terrible, guys. I don't walk it like
the way I fuss at y'all about being on it. She's like that too.
I get fussed at. So
I have to take her phone and do stuff sometimes.
Yeah, because I honestly I get so busy in stuff, and I'm one of them overthinkers. So that's why I gotta shoot the footage and just give it to my virtual assistant, because
She's got the team too, y'all. That's the other crazy part about it. And God, we say thank you for the property. Thank you for the social workers, the case managers, the relationships. Thank you for every aspect of this business being given to us by you so that it all works out well. God, failure is not in our portion. Success is. And God, we give you the credit. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we could ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great. Amen. And we'll see y'all Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Be great.
Have a blessed weekend.